Well, welcome back to the In Good Company podcast, where we believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. And listen, today's guest is great company. He didn't just drive 15 minutes to come on the episode today. How many hours did it take you to get here today?
I think we're looking at 15 hours. We drove back from Canada back to New York.
About 15 hours to be in the content house today. It might be rainy outside, but it is sunny in here.
Hey.
We got Sunny on the podcast. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
This is truly a pleasure.
We've got the whole fam in the content house today, including the pup that's right by my feet.
Yes, Phoebe.
Yeah. Incredible. So for those that don't know you, a little bit of your story, give us a little bit of a rundown of who you are, where do you come from, what do you do for work, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So I was born, I like to say I was born in India, but raised in Canada and the US. So I spent a decade in India, decade in Canada, decade in California, and now I've been in New York for the last 3 years, so you do the math. Somehow that adds up to 37.
Boom. That's incredible.
And I run a wellness tech company where we basically help yoga teachers and meditation teachers and fitness coaches productize themselves into a product and sell that for $20 a month.
How about it?
Yeah.
And so how many people have you guys actually partnered with and worked with over the years? When did you officially start that business, and how many people have you guys been able to partner with?
Total, it's over 100. We've been going for the last 5 years now. Wow. We started right before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got to imagine, even like during COVID with some of the apps and things, I know it's kind of weird to say, but it may have been a good booster for some of them, with people working out at home or people trying to do some fitness related things at home. What kind of feedback were you getting around that time from some of your early adopters with their apps?
Man, we had this app that we had launched right before COVID called Yoga with Mary. This yoga teacher out of Michigan, her name is Mary, love her so much. When COVID happened, April 2020, we're like, hey, we have this wellness company. It has a few hundred paying subscribers on this specific app. What do we do? And we always believed in like being net positive for the world. Mm. So we're like, this COVID stuff, we don't know what this means. So why don't we just put our best foot forward? We're going to make the whole app free. So
wow.
We literally in all of April, Mary decided with us to make her app free. She got, I want to say at that time, 5x the number of users. And her number of subscribers also 5x. Even though it was free, people still signed on. So that became our biggest revenue month. And obviously, then things just snowballed from there.
Yeah.
Other teachers started reaching out to us like, hey, can you make me what you guys made for Mary and stuff like that. Yeah.
So when did you, because again, this is a very niche focused role that you have, business that you've started.
Yeah.
Do you have like an aha moment or some story? Like, were you guys super into yoga? Were you super into fitness stuff? Like, what kind of brought you to this place of, man, this is going to be the deposit that I leave on this planet? Like, when did you have that moment?
Yeah, great question. About 10 years ago, my dad passed away in an accident. Mm. And I was in San Francisco working for another tech company. And the thing that helped me in my healing at that time was literally the app Headspace, which is a meditation app. Mm. Somebody just told me to download it, and I'm like, all right, I'll try this out. My mom's been trying to teach me to meditate from day one since I was in India. And, and I'm like, I can't wait to go to America and marry a white girl. Forget about this meditation crap. But it's funny, fast forward to this moment where my dad passed away. Headspace is the app that finally taught me how to meditate.
Wow.
And it helped me build this practice. And then now as I look back to connect the dots on all that stuff, what I realized about Headspace was it was one meditation teacher in an app, recorded content, and it severely, in the most positive way, impacted me.
Yeah.
And not only it helped me heal, Headspace also helped me have the spiritual transformation where like at that time I was, in some eyes I was probably achieving, I had good success.
Sure.
I had a 6-figure paying job in San Francisco, making a lot of money in my 20s. But I was like lost. I had a lot of intense energy in my soul where I channeled that into partying
Sure.
and destructive habits.
Yeah.
So now the spiritual transformation from that point was I haven't drank in 10 years, alcohol.
It's amazing.
Literally, actually, July 2015 was when I stopped drinking.
Wow.
So take that experience, and I got into meditation, and I started meditating. And you know what's interesting about meditation is people think it's about relaxing, and it's about mindfulness, like control your stress. The real purpose of meditation is to recognize the isness of your life and the situation. Like, what is it? Just like seeing it clearly. And that's the real purpose of meditation, which I think a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
That I realized was my big aha moment, where I realized this massive transformation happened for me. And it happened because of this teacher and because of this app, Headspace.
Yeah.
And the Andy Puttingham was the teacher at that time. And then at that time, I was just inspired to be like, you know what, let me find another meditation teacher who we can do this with. And I can quit my finance tech job and do something that I really care about and make money from. And that's really how it all started. And since then, we've been true to this whole model of a single teacher, recorded content in an app. And that's been in the whole wellness space.
It's incredible. I love that there was and I find with most entrepreneur stories, there is this personal touch as to, man, the need became so great that it's like they had to make that jump. They had to do that. The one point of your story that I want to dig into, though, you just kind of glaze over it, but I think a lot of people listening may be in a similar space. You made the comment where you said, oh yeah, I was just working this tech job and then I jumped out and I started my own thing. That's a very easy thing to say today, but how did you, as a person in Silicon Valley, everybody's grinding, making their way to the top. How did you actually, or really, I guess a better way to say this, when did you realize it was time to have that difficult conversation with your boss and it was time to actually step out on your own? It's a really hard window because you hear people's opinions all the time. Oh, build up a side hustle, and then when that's high enough, then you can jump. I'm just curious, when was that moment where it went from aha to go, right? When was that moment?
I'll be honest, I had been trying to start my own company for years before that.
Yeah.
But I was just too busy and partying and having a good time.
Got it.
And then on top of that too, I think just making that commitment, you're absolutely right, is super hard. And it was really hard for me. I would say meditation played a big role in that, where in meditation, you're just sitting with your mind and with your life situation. And you're trying to quiet your mind, but you're still looking at everything that's happening. So you just can't ignore it. And the more you do that, it creates this congruence with what your mind wants, what your soul wants to be. I would say that journey was definitely tough for me because you're tied financially to your job, health insurance to your job. For me, my immigrant status was tied to my job. So it was a big thing. And I remember the mantra I had at that time, when it was finally the decision to okay, I need to leave my job. I need to go into this all in. A mantra that I had was become a wolf and separate from the sheep. I'm paraphrasing that. There's a saying around that.
Yeah.
Really become a wolf, and we're all in sheep's clothing to an extent. We like the comfort of a job and the steady paycheck. But my quick story there was I was doing a side hustle. When that opportunity arose, I started doing a side hustle with my business partner. And then eventually I was still really committed to, I wanted to go full-time all in, but I didn't know what the path was. But I just had the faith that, okay, let's just keep working at it. And in parallel, I started saving money. Eventually I just got laid off from my job.
Yeah.
And then that was the push in to be all right, well, it's now or never. And I will say at that point, one big support for me was my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Who kind of I would say her in combination with my business partner at that time and my brother kind of kicked me into it to be all right, this is your time now. You don't have a lot to lose. You don't have kids. Yeah. So what's the worst that can happen? And that's another thing that I kept repeating. What's the worst that can happen if this fails? The worst is I'll go back to Canada where my mom lives.
Yeah.
And 2, I'll just could go get another job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I could talk.
No,
we could
it's
do the whole
huge.
podcast on leaving your job for a full-time
Yeah, well,
gig.
I think that with the way the internet has continued to progress, and I know we're going to get into AI and some other things as well, like if there was ever a time for people to consider jumping out, now is the time, right? My only caveat with that is not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur or is supposed to be an entrepreneur. There's many people I've met, even on my own team, that feel very called to be a strong number two. Like there's that visionary, and then there's the executor, right? There's that person 100%. That can really, really carry that forward. So again, I'd love to talk about this for a long time, because I think that there are a lot of people that they're on the diving board, and they have been for quite some time. They just kind of need that little extra push to get that forward. Talk about, I know you got a lot of things changing on the family front, citizenship status front. Like there's so much going on. You're a new dad now. What has that transition been like as a business owner? Again, you even alluded to it before where, hey, don't have kids, I can jump out, we can do this thing. Now you do. What has that journey been like? Balancing business, the work-life balance, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, man, I feel incredibly lucky, one, to have a kid. She's 4 months old now, a little baby girl. And I would say having the kid, it just made things a little bit more serious for me. For me personally, my personality is always the funny guy, happy guy. And I kind of had this joke in my head. Sometimes I treat my business as this like very expensive hobby.
Right.
You know, they say like, if you're not making that much money, it's just a hobby. But even with, we're per year, we're processing millions of dollars.
Sure.
And sometimes it still feels like a hobby.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily, sometimes I ignore some of the really important things like holding people accountable and firing people and even firing clients, to be honest, when things are just not working out and things are not a fit. So I think I just stopped. I am less of a nice guy now since having a kid, because I feel a pressure, which is a very positive pressure, to provide for my family.
Yeah.
So it's more serious now. And I think it's the seriousness that I needed, because I tend to not be that serious.
Yeah.
So a little bit of serious goes a long way for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, the passion can still be there in like that hobby-centric way. But again, for you to realize that, hey, there's legacy attached to this now. This is not just, hey, what happens if I fail? Like that feeling early on when it's just you, but now you got other dependents and people that I can't fail, right? Like this thing's got to keep moving. And I don't say that in a pressure way. It's just, it starts to make it more serious. We do a segment on the podcast called Fails of the Week. And I think especially with, accounts like the people that you guys partner with, and they got their hundreds of thousands of followers and the pristine images and the workout plans and the great looking photos and videos. It's easy for people to see all of that and just think, oh yeah, it must be nice, man. These guys got their whole life all perfect put together. What are some of those fail moments, as maybe it's early on in your entrepreneurial journey, or maybe even over the past couple months, couple years, that you think would be a fun story to share?
I've got a couple.
Let's go. You. I'm locked in.
And both of them have to do with bringing on creators. One is a very recent one where we brought on a creator who isn't really a content creator. They're more in the in-person space.
Okay.
And we sold them on, hey, here's a whole life for you where you don't have to do as much in-person yoga and teaching at studios. You can record content and it can really be passive income. But you do have to do XYZ things. And then they do a very specific kind of yoga, and we really saw the potential there in the uniqueness of what they do. But I think the thing that I missed in our whole time with them was realizing that who they are and what they actually want to do is part of our qualification criteria, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, so essentially we brought on somebody who didn't quite meet the qualification criteria.
Got it.
And as a startup, we're continuing to build our qualification criteria.
Yeah.
Of who our partners are, who our ideal customer profile is, our ICP. In this case, it just what I've realized last week, I had a conversation with them, and it was just like nails on the chalkboard kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the reason, and it was a very painful conversation, and the reason it was a painful conversation is because later as I was journaling using ChatGPT, the thing that I realized was they're just not a fit. We brought on somebody that's not a fit. That's why me trying to explain super basic things that we take for granted with other partners who do meet our ideal customer profile.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be having those conversations. I'm keeping it a little vague, but like,
I know, I got it.
That makes sense.
I got it. We can get to your next one.
Yeah.
I just want to sit in this for a second, because I think early on in business, there's a tendency for people to take any and all leads that come their way and say, I'm just trying to grow the business.
Yes.
Like all money is good money. And like, man, we're just going to grow this thing. And it is a really difficult maturing step where you have to decide, is this actually the right fit? And one of the things that we talk about as a team internally at our marketing agency is we know that a client is the wrong fit if anytime they call us out of the blue, like our heart sinks, or like we all of a sudden get like this anxiety of like, what are they calling about? How can we help them? It almost like we turn into like these people pleasers, like trying to bend over backwards to make everything happen. But the people that we're partners with, those are the clients that we want to work with. The people where it feels like we're vendors, or it feels like we are just, hey, we just want you to just create graphics for us, do a video for us. The ones that we actually can invite in and they invite us in, those end up being those clients that we want to work with. What advice would you have for someone who is in that startup mode where they are taking everybody, but they've now hit that point of, man, I'm wasting a lot of energy on the wrong people? What advice might you have for someone of how you were able to kind of unlock that, hey, it's actually okay to let a client go. It's actually okay. Do you have any advice for them?
Number one is just be patient. Because I know sometimes when you're trying to make payroll and you're trying to, there's a $5,000 check that's like right there, and this person's willing to pay, but they may not be a fit. I do think in the beginning you have to do certain level of experimentation, and this is inevitable.
Yeah. You
are going to sign on people, in my opinion. It's not going to be black and white. You are going to sign on people that are not qualified. That's going to happen. I firmly believe that. I think it's important to just be honest with yourself and have some sort of working criteria that you continuously look at again and again.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, this is our ideal customer profile. Here's 4 bullets that we look at. Are we being true to it? Oh, okay, we're being 80% true. Yeah. All right, let's keep iterating. And I hugely am a big fan of retrospectives.
Yes.
So once you launch let's say a customer, do a retrospective with your team. What went well? What didn't go well? What can we improve? And I think more so it's such a basic framework, but it just gives you that reflection time as a team to just take a look at what you could actually improve there and how it truly went. Because when you're in the delivery phase, it's too hard to reflect at that point. But I think that's super valuable, and you don't know what kind of stuff is going to come out. Sometimes it does feel like it's just like a formality, but I think take it really seriously, because I do think there's a lot of great stuff that comes out of a retrospective.
Yeah, it literally, as you're describing it, sounds like meditation for your business.
Hey,
right? Like literally
it's reflection.
Yeah, like everything you just talked about with your personal life and being able to like sit with your isness, all that stuff. That is the concept, right? Is being able to set aside that time. You hear all the time, it's so easy to work in the business instead of working on the business and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What was the other fail story that you wanted to share?
The other fail story is we're Breakthrough, my company is we only work in the wellness vertical.
Yeah.
Last year, we got a new influencer who was a creator, big following in a whole new vertical. And we're like, this is cool. We can finally break into this new vertical. So let's bring them in, but it's going to require some code changes and it's going to require some changes in the platform. Fine. I've got a great team. We can make that happen. What I realized is after having launched over 100 partners, 100 apps, we failed in that situation because they pulled out at the last stage.
Oof.
The app was ready. Everything was ready. They paid us money. We invested thousands and thousands of dollars thinking we'll make this back because this is a no-brainer. This is going to be huge. And they pulled out in the last stage. Obviously, it's a lot easier to stomach when we already have a functioning business with a couple of verticals. But it was painful nonetheless. And it was really painful and humbling for me because I pride myself having, with my team, worked on hundreds of launches that we know how to manage their expectations. We know how to hold their hand and take them through it because people are not used to having their own app launch with their own brand.
Yeah.
And it's a reflection of their self-worth out there. So it's got to be good. It's got to look good. So we have a whole list of how do you manage their expectations, a whole playbook on it. But even then we failed. And my learning from that basically was a couple of learnings. One, when there are too many variants, like in this case, it was a new vertical, it was a new partner, and it was a tight timeline too, just give yourself a big buffer. Yes. We thought it was going to take 4 months. What I should have done was multiply that estimate by 1.5 to 2.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, we think it's going to take 4 months, but let's give ourselves 6 months.
Yeah, because then you can beat expectation, right? If it does go to plan,
right,
then they're pumped. Oh, cool. It took 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. That was painful, Bo. We got over it.
Yeah. And it's also great, man, to stay in your lane, right? And to realize that it's okay to be like niche down in an area where you can really serve people well. I think about so many entrepreneurs out there. I know I was there in my early stages where I'm trying to serve everybody and then I actually end up serving nobody. Well. Yeah. Because I am doing whatever in any industry. And I think as we've really understood, we went through this tremendous exercise as a team. It's a cheap sales pitch here real quick, but we have a whole brand positioning build out that we walk through with our clients where it fully flushes out their business persona, especially online, in one sentence, right? So our business, Thomas Media Group, our brand positioning statement is brands are dead. We help grow your business by creating content that's as human as you are. That concept, it evokes this emotional thing in the beginning. Brands are dead. What are they talking about? What we do is we grow your business. That's the result. And how do we do that? By creating content that's as human as you are. So we love being able to walk through that. But the reason I bring up that positioning statement is that's exactly what you guys are doing. You are looking at influencers, people that have a great following, people that, again, have all these followers, but at times they don't know how to turn followers into paying customers, right? So what have you guys been able to do from like a marrying the two? How have you been able to take, again, all those followers and start to convert them? Like, what are some of those tactics that you guys have found in the app? Don't give away all your secrets, of course, but yeah, would love to just hear, how have you been able to help them grow, not just their followings, but actually their sales?
Their sales, yeah. There's so many different ways to do that as a wellness creator.
Yeah.
You can launch an app, you can launch a course, you can put all your knowledge into a PDF and sell that for $27. We very much believe in the whole subscription model.
Yep.
And you can still, in a product, you can still sell one-time packages and programs. Our framework, basically, this is after a lot of trial and error of 5 years managing over 100 apps, I realized that there are 3 metrics that matter for an influencer app. Only 3. And we look at these 3 metrics every month with each of the influencers. Number 1 is how many new customers are you bringing into your app? And these are just free customers. So if I have a yoga app, how many new customers are coming into that yoga app every month? Number 2, what percentage of those customers are converting to becoming paid customers? So conversion rate.
Yeah.
And then number 3 is how many people are canceling from the subscription base. So really, in layman's terms, how many new people are walking in, how many are becoming paid subscribers, and how many people are leaving.
Yeah.
And that drives everything in what we do. Because many times what we'll see is oh, this app is bringing on a lot of customers, but they're not converting.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, they're bringing on a lot of customers and they're converting, but they're getting a lot of cancels. If all three are working well, great. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the party moving. We use that to design experiments each month. So I'll give one quick example. We have an app that has a huge organic user base that continues to find the app through the App Store and they download it, but then the organic conversion rate is really low. So what we're doing next month, we're running one experiment that we're going to run for 2 weeks. That's literally going to shift how our paywall shows up in the app.
Got it.
And then we're going to see, okay, did that experiment raise the conversion rate? So that's kind of our framework. Obviously, we have, in terms of just influencer apps in general, or like wellness creator apps in general, we have a kind of a very much a shoe-in playbook that works across the board, which is running challenges.
Yes.
Just to give your audience a path to their breakthrough.
Yes.
So if your audience is beginners to yoga, give them a path on how to become better at yoga, how to practice yoga more and build a yoga practice. If they're in, let's say, this is a boxing app, this is a challenge, 30 days of boxing drills.
Yeah.
And they're just going to do that for 30 days and get better at boxing.
Yeah.
So challenges ends up being a great way to bring people in. And there's a bigger playbook too, but like that's the high level.
Yeah, you can't give away all the secrets, so just keep them.
I'm happy to give away all the secrets because I honestly believe there's too much doom scrolling and too much like attention distraction in the world that like people won't necessarily execute even if we give away all the secrets.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. One of the things that we say as well is that if you can create content that gives value, value generates trust, and then trust generates revenue. Yeah. So giving that value, those influencers are a perfect example of this. It continues to generate and build that trust. So after that challenge, after those 30 days, they're way more likely to buy something because they just spent that kind of day in and day out experience with you. You were their leader, their guide, all those things. Let's bring the pup up.
Oh yeah,
bro.
can we bring Phoebe?
It's time. Phoebe needs to make. This is our first
Phoebe
ever.
is the first ever. Phoebe, what do you gotta say? She's smelling.
Incredible.
All right, what's the camera that Phoebe's asking? Hey, what camera do I look at?
Oh, right here.
Phoebe,
right here,
just say hi to the camera. This is Phoebe.
Incredible.
She's been to more coffee shops than she has been to vet appointments.
Oh, well, that's okay.
We rescued Phoebe about a year ago, and she's been part of her life.
Phoebe, you are a beautiful pup.
She understands.
And my daughter.
Phoebe, where's mommy? Where's mommy? She understands. Where's mommy? Okay, go find mommy. Go find mommy. go to mommy.
She's like, I'm out. See ya. Wow, that's awesome. That was our first. That was our first pup interview in the space. Yeah, give it up.
Amazing. Great job, Phoebes.
Light on the words, but really beautiful. Just,
wisdom.
Yeah, it was very meditative. Just let it ride. I love that you've taken a passion and you've converted it into something that is actually a job that you enjoy every day. And again, I'm just honored that you would take some time and chat with us. There's a couple of other things that I want to hit. One of which would be, as you think about breakthrough apps, as you think about, there's all those stages when it comes to building a business. There's that solopreneur type of experience. Then you start to scale and you got to bring your team in, payroll and health insurance and all the other things. Where do you see breakthrough in the next 3 to 5 years? What do you actually see? I know we were talking about this a little bit in the green room, just about some of the new AI things that are coming out and everything else. But where do you kind of see breakthrough?
Threefold. Number one, we're going to keep doing what we're doing because it's working. So we're going to just keep pushing on that, focused on wellness creators, wellness apps. This model is working. Number two, we've realized now there's a big problem in the world, which is of discovering your coach, discovering your yoga teacher. And I don't mean going to your local yoga studio, which is great, and you should definitely do that. Right now, the discovery happens on social media in the midst of your doom scrolling.
Yeah.
I personally hate that. Why do we have to go through this waterboarding experience, this addict experience of doom scrolling to find the yoga teacher and maybe sign up to their email list? And also that way, it's only the teachers that are actually good at marketing and may not necessarily be the best teacher for you.
Yes.
They rise to the top. But there's amazing teachers out there who may be the best teacher for you, but you can't find them because they're not on Instagram or they're not great at promoting themselves. So we're solving that by creating a breakthrough app. And that's going to be, the app's tagline is find your breakthrough.
Incredible.
And people can go to the app for their breakthrough. They can find the teacher, find the coach that they need in wellness specifically. So whether it's like you come into the app, you're like, hey, I want to be more flexible. And the app will get you to try a bunch of teachers. And then eventually from there, you can download their app or you can take their classes on the app as well. So that's one thing. We're building this breakthrough aggregator. We already have a lot of the content. We have the people, but we're combining it into one place.
Incredible.
And then the third thing that we're doing, and this is the one I'm most excited about, this is happening next week, is we're going to, when we started this, our whole thing was kind of basically copy Headspace, which is when you come into Headspace, you find the meditation that you want that's most suitable for you. I go into Calm. That's the same thing. If I use a fitness app, I'm trying to use a content-based app. I'm trying to find the content that's suitable for me, for my need at that time. We're going to utilize AI to basically generate content on the fly with that teacher's voice and with that teacher's programming.
Whoa.
And we're literally launching this next week. There's an app called Sleep with Yogi Brian. Here's a small plug.
Come on.
There's an app called Sleep with Yogi Brian that we've launched. There's a great influencer creator, Yogi Brian. He's got almost 1 million followers across social media. And we've launched an app with him called Sleep with Yogi Brian. This app now, with this next version, you can now go into the app and type in what you're feeling, what's on your mind at night when you're using the app for a sleep meditation. And the app will generate a meditation that's custom made for you and whatever you expressed. If you say, hey man, I'm so sad that my girl left me and I just can't fall asleep, it literally generates a meditation saying, Sunny, don't worry, this is Yogi Brian. I'm going to help you through this, man. It's in Yogi Brian's voice, tailored to you. It's essentially like doing a one-on-one with Yogi Brian, but at a fraction of the cost. This, to me, is the big benefit of AI.
Whoa.
So we're literally launching this next week. And then we're going to roll that out to other creators, other verticals.
Whoa.
It's going to be true personalized. So the third one really is like a true personalized content generation using AI in that teacher's voice.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow. That was probably the most precise answer that I've had to that question on the podcast, where typically I'll go, hey man, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And it's like, I don't even know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow, or But again, I love the, you're not letting. I've heard so many people's opinions about AI feel like it's going to take jobs, or you feel threatened by this thing, and I love that you are harnessing it and actually leveraging it. And I think that's true about anything that's out there, right? Is that you have this opportunity. Look at COVID that hit you early on. You were able to harness that. And you guys were able to grow apps and grow accounts during that process. So again, for those that are listening that maybe are in a challenging season, or you feel like there's things that are threatening that are kind of out there, take a look. I mean, I'm walking away from this conversation going, man, what are some areas where our business can meditate and can take some time to really reassess how are we doing, and why do we love the clients that we work with, and why do we have to fire some, and what are the differences there? I think this conversation has been incredible for me, and again, I'm going to walk away feeling like, dude, how do we get you back in here so that I can get a free counseling session?
One suggestion I want to make, that it's also for me. We started doing this a while ago, and we went away from it just because we're a startup. But I know a lot of companies that are in the wellness space do this. And I think all companies should be doing this, in my opinion. They start every team meeting with a 3-minute meditation. And I think there's something about a 3-minute meditation. It feels much longer when you're in a meeting because you're there for something. But people are coming from different meetings, different situations. They're working from home. They're coming from like whatever. It just pauses. That nothingness. and then it just gets everybody on the same page. And I think that there's a new dimension of effectiveness there.
So talk to me for a second. Let's just break the script for a second.
Boom.
Not about breakthrough, not about my business. I'm a Christian dude. I actually didn't grow up in church. I came to Christ at 17 years old. It was wasn't like trapped in a bunch of sin or like crazy life story necessarily. I just found purpose, right? It was a very similar experience that you had, where it was like it was kind of aimless living, 17 years old, and it was like, man, this is purpose for me. And I ended up going and working at a church for 6 years. Wow. I was youth pastor, went to seminary school, like studied theology, like really went down this journey. Some of the best years of my life.
Wow.
When you say things like meditation, in my brain, I've always said prayer, right? Mm-hmm. Which I'm genuinely curious, and I feel like this is a fun topic to discuss.
Yeah.
What would you say are like the core differences between the two? Like, or is it the same? And again, I think this would be a fun conversation to dive into.
I love this so much.
Yeah, cool.
And this is off script. This is not.
Oh, dude, no, I love this.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I meditate.
Yeah.
And I pray.
Cool. Yeah.
2 separate experiences.
Got it.
So I meditate in the morning, and I also try to meditate during the day, but like the morning meditation for me is the most effective because it just creates this new tone to the day. It creates this tone that is just like, I'm coming from a calm place. And scientifically they've shown doing that meditation practice.
Oh yeah.
That it literally creates a bigger lag between your reaction time, in terms of like emotional reaction time.
Yeah.
In terms of prayer, I would say prayer, and also maybe like I also do affirmations.
Yes.
To me, prayer is a lot more intentional. And prayer to me is a beautiful thing because it's like this one way that connects your soul to your mind.
Yeah.
Whereas in meditation, it's like quieting the mind.
Got it.
But I think prayer does this beautiful thing. It sets a very positive intention.
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe the reason social media, this is going to sound unrelated, but I promise it's related. The reason social media is so effing dangerous is because there's something about content in our human brains that becomes part of our subconscious mind. And then whatever becomes part of our subconscious mind, that becomes a reality. I'm experiencing this personally when I myself doom scroll.
Of course, yeah.
When I'm trying to distract myself or whatever, which happens regularly.
Yeah.
When I'm overwhelmed, I just doom scroll. YouTube, watching whatever else, interviews. I realized that prayer and a lot of the religious text, it's nothing but content. And that content, especially prayer, it's content. It's like you're saying some words, it's content. It directly seeps into your subconscious mind through repetition.
Yes.
And then that becomes your reality. So I think prayer is an extremely powerful thing.
Yeah, it's really well said. Yeah, and even, again, thinking about some of the text of, like, meditate on Scripture day and night, right? Like, there's language that does kind of, it kind of weaves some of those things together.
Right.
Because there's spiritual practices that I've done that it would almost be like soaking, where it's like, it's worship music without words, very like just calming, and you're not necessarily praying in a way of asking God to do something.
Yeah.
It's more like, I want to sit and feel like I'm in like a warm embrace, like a warm hug. I'm not asking anything. It's like when you're cuddling your daughter, it's like there's no, I don't need you to say anything. It's just we're here, like I'm in your presence, right?
I think meditation to me, meditation is like the one word that's massively misunderstood.
Yeah, that's why
right after yoga.
I love talking about this.
In the Western culture.
Yes.
I think to me meditation, initially I said isness, but I think meditation is another word for attention.
Yeah.
When you say meditate on something, I don't think that's wrong. I think it's just give your full attention to it. So when you meditate by yourself, you're giving your full attention to yourself. And by the way, another thing that I just want to throw out there that might be helpful for people to hear, a massive shift in my mental state happened when I went on a silent meditation retreat.
Wow.
Where you don't talk for 7 days.
Whoa.
You don't talk for 7 days. And I know in the Christian faith and stuff, there may be retreat stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of different faiths have it. I think there's something really magical about the retreat experience.
Oh, yeah.
Where if you look at, there was this book that my wife and I had. It was like a coffee table book talking about all the greats. There was one thing that was common with the greats, that majority of them would take some time to retreat. Like some of them would just like book a hotel room, just them.
Yep.
Away from their family. Even like Barack Obama, Bill Gates, they do this thing where they just go away to a cabin alone. Like Bill Gates does this thing. He locks himself away in a cabin for 2 weeks just to read books. Away from the fam. So I think there's something really magical about the retreat experience. I find it personally to just slow my mind down and just come back to reality is going on a silent meditation retreat. I'm actually about to go for one in a couple of weeks. Just a 2-day one.
Incredible. Have you done the darkness one?
No.
I know that's a very different deal.
It is.
I'm just curious.
Well, you mean the darkness where you say in darkness? I think the Aubrey Marcus did something like that where you spent
Yeah, like it's just like a darkness
darkness
retreat, like the quarterback Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he does like all the ayahuasca
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, but there is something that attracts me to it.
Yeah.
Because I do think that we take on so much stuff through our senses. And I definitely noticed not talking for a week, there was a massive shift where I discovered a whole new dimension in life. So I can imagine not seeing for a week what that does, or even a day.
Or even an
while you're
hour.
Awake. Or even 5 minutes,
Yeah,
dude, you know?
yeah.
Like not sleeping. You know, and like not sleeping, but being in darkness, being awake and being in darkness.
And also like
Very
not
interesting.
knowing what time it is per se. And
yes,
there's no difference. You're waking up and it could be 2 a.m. and you think your day's getting started. It's like there's no...
I think darkness is wild. I've never done that. There is something that calls in my soul to do that, and that does feel extremely challenging.
Yeah.
I'm
happy that we took some time in that bucket, because I do think I care deeply about multiple faith journeys and like having conversations about things like this. I just think there's way too much, certainly politically and everywhere else, that's just if you're not with me, you're against me.
Oh my
right?
God.
Like I am at the age and at a spot in my life where I think I'm open. I'm not saying I am like going to change faiths every couple weeks or something like that. I'm open to absorbing from other people's experiences and saying, man, what areas or avenues can I adopt in my own life from this other person? And what are some shared experiences where we can find this connectivity? And I think it's a conversation, dude, that I could sit here and talk with you about probably for the next 3 hours. And when we press stop, we may. But thank you for being on, man. This is like absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on.
A couple rapid fire hot seat questions to
let's
conclude our time. And I know you're a big coffee house guy, so these are like 1 to 2 sentence responses. We're just rocking and rolling, moving quick. Here we go. What is your favorite New York City coffee spot right now?
Devotion.
Okay, where's that at?
They have a bunch of locations. It's in Manhattan. It's in Brooklyn.
Boom. Great.
Devotion.
Love it. What's the first app that you ever downloaded? This is going to age you. You probably don't remember.
I honestly don't remember. I think the
Twitter
memory, Twitter or something. I was gonna just say Calm. I think the first wellness app I ever downloaded was Calm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good call. Yeah. Yoga at sunrise or meditation at sunset?
Neither. Meditation at sunrise.
Nice. All right. Is that big for you? Morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is one thing you wish more people knew about being a founder?
It's fucking hard.
Yep.
It's hard, and it is the most pleasurable experience all at the same time.
What is your personal mantra these days?
I am the calm in the chaos.
If your life had a background soundtrack, what song or maybe style of music would be playing?
Lose Yourself by Eminem.
Let's go. Bro, what an incredible last question to end this thing. And in fact, for our editors, if you could be playing Lose Yourself right now and just
that
slowly
piano.
fade us out, that'd be great. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of In Good Company, where we really do believe that the best parts of business happen in good company. Appreciate you being on.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to In Good Company. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more information or to connect with Mike, visit him online at thomasmediagroup.co or on Instagram at Michael L. Thomas. Thanks again for listening, and remember, the best of business happens in good company. We'll see you next time.